All right, we're going to talk a little bit about Cathay Pacific and aligning the employee experience to the customer experience. Richard mentioned earlier about the kind of importance of HR within a business. 20 years ago, 10 years ago, in certain parts of the world, HR was only transactional. You recognize this, I'm sure, from your careers and on your businesses. Basically processing information, and we've heard a lot today about how we can make that better. But HR really needs to step up the value chain. You've heard from some of the speakers earlier how to convince your CEO of the importance of HR and to invest in a HR system. The only way you can do that, in my opinion, is to stop talking about HR as being somehow separate from business strategy and really talk about HR as fulfilling business strategy. HR shouldn't have a strategy, in my view. There should be a business strategy and HR activity that you as a HR practitioner are involved in which helps the business strategy. Talk like that and your CEO will listen. Your CFO will listen. So about 3 years ago, I suppose, Cathay Pacific likes to think of itself as a well-run airline, a profitable airline. 3 years ago, we started losing quite a lot of money. And we needed to have a real look at why that was and what we could do about it. All right? Airlines are a lousy business to get involved in anyway. The best of years, they make a very small margin. There's a great joke that if you want to make $1 million, the quickest way to make $1 million is to start with $1 billion and buy an airline. So it's very sort of hit and miss, right? And a lot of factors are well beyond your control. Fuel prices, 40-50% of any cost base of an airline is fuel. How much control do you have over your fuel? Not very much. So you have to really try and work out what it is that you can provide the customers that they are willing to pay for. And Cathay Pacific a couple of years ago really struggled with this. And so we revamped. We knew immediately if we were going to be a premium airline that offered premium experiences, then we had to have the culture of the airline and the people in the airline aligned to that message, to that aim. No way that you can provide consistent quality experience for your customers if your people are not aligned and not on board with that vision. Okay? So very quickly we're going to go through some of the things that we were trying to do to align customer experience and employee experience. We've got 35 million passengers a year. We've got 27,000 plus people across 46 countries. We've got pilots, cabin crew, ground staff, all very different types of people in different places, in different cultures. How on earth do we try and align that experience, give a consistent experience to 35 million passengers and to 27,000 plus? It takes some discipline, some technology, but also a real vision around what those experiences should be. All right? Our brand promise is life well traveled. There's a difference between just traveling and traveling well, and that the customers, we hope, appreciate that. We hope they appreciate enough to pay a bit more than our competitors, and we're still trying to develop that proposition in such a way that people will. But we want our employees also to feel that working for Cathay Pacific is a life well traveled. It's life well lived. And that needs to be clearly thought out, right? So our enduring purpose in HR in Cathay Pacific, and I'm not in HR in Cathay Pacific, but as a country manager, I spend a lot of my time in HR, affecting the customer experience and the employee experience, is to equip, support, and develop and incentivize employees to deliver great customer outcomes. Now that sounds like a statement that isn't really concerned with individuals in our company, right? It's all about the customer. But we can only deliver that if we actually give our employees a great experience as well, right? We have a saying that you either serving the customer or you're serving someone who is serving the customer. And that idea of service has to be intact, whether you are in front of the customer or whether you're serving people who are in front of the customer. All right? Only way that can be done is by aligning all the life cycle points of an employee and a customer, frankly, with a consistent set of experiences that are aligned to your overall strategy. And our overall strategy is this thing, life well traveled. Okay? So our digital experience, customer and employee. Our working environments, customer and employee. Our everyday touch points, they all need to be aligned if you're going to be successful in bringing this culture to life. Okay? Hoping that this works. A couple of things really important with that. Obviously, any passengers want to have safety as a priority when they're dealing with an airline, and employees do too. So we take safety extremely seriously and security extremely seriously. People know, they are reassured if they're working for Cathay Pacific or if they fly with Cathay Pacific, that that piece is prioritized, is right at the top of our mission statement, etc. Now, we might take safety for granted with an airline. You might think, oh, of course Cathay Pacific is safe. But that's only because we work very hard at it, and all of our employees understand the importance of that. It's embedded in the culture. Has to be consistent. So that the office that they work in the cargo warehouse in Davao, has to be a safe place to work and prioritize safety if we're to be credible as a safe organization for our customers as well. Okay? Then you've got service, internal and external service, absolutely central to the concept of what Cathay Pacific it is and who we are, employee and then something to be proud of, right? We want our customers to want to travel with us because they're proud to be associated. How much more so for our employees? So we give them good kit, right? Great aircraft to fly in. And our design ethos is built around something that they can build trust and confidence. So a contemporary Asian feel, heartfelt warmth around service, internal and external. Considered simplicity. We don't want bureaucracy in our organization. We don't want politics. Very hard, but you know, that's very important. We strive to drive all that out. And we're a travel business, right? We deal with the concept of dreams and ideas and aspirations traveling across continents. So there's something that we need to capture around the joy of discovery, of exploration. And that's what we build into our design of internal and external experience. So our cabins, our lounges. This is one of our lounges, right? Very nice, very simple. This is a workspace, which we try and align to the sort of experience our customers have, right? You might think, actually, that looks like a lounge in a different airport or a different airline. That's one of our employee spaces. Is this a lounge or an employee space, do we think? Actually, it's both. So we have the lounge design and the employee space at our hotel, where our crews stay, are built in and designed in exactly the same way to align that experience. Lounge meeting room or an office meeting room? Office, yeah, but the same design principles apply. Now, I was told if I was going to have a successful presentation in the Philippines, I have to have a food selfie included. That's true, right? Everyone taking selfies of their food. So, but we build, in Asia in particular, we build experiences around food, we build experiences around the dining experience, and so prioritized in our workspaces and on board and in our lounges is the concept food has to be good, and it has to be something that you will write about, blog about, share, be proud of. All right? Loyalty and performance, interesting. We used to be a company that prioritized loyalty in the employees. We're moving from that to performance. That is a painful process to go through. From you've been in the company 25 years, so you get the promotion, to you've been in the company 5 years, but you're actually good, better, so you get the promotion. A very difficult transition, but if we're going to talk about our company striving for excellence, then we need to make that transition. That's something we've done with our customers as well. The loyalty, if it means performance, is rewarded. There's no point in rewarding a customer if they never fly with you, but they talk nicely about you, right? They actually have to perform as well as be that loyal piece. All right, to get the business, the employee experience and the customer experience aligned, and for it to be effective, you kind of need to know what it is that they want, right? And this is where the data piece starts to come in. So how do we know what our customers want? How do we know what our employees want? Simple, we ask them, we keep asking them, and then we capture that data in ways that is useful. We track activity on the websites, internal and external, understand what it is people are looking for, talking about, and really respond to that. The most simplest and basic and kind of bluntest tool is the survey. We survey our employees, we survey our customers, and we make quick and rapid responses to that. We do pulse surveys every month. We do surveys for customers after every flight. We don't get everyone replying, of course, but we get enough information to be able to respond to it. Some examples. The digital interface. We heard a lot about millennials today. Millennials expect your company website, your company interactions, to run as smoothly as an Amazon website, to be as user-friendly as an Alibaba website. Customers on board the aircraft want their TV experience to work like a Netflix. They want it to work. They want it to be stimulating, interesting, and engaging. If you don't have those things, then you're not providing a great customer experience and you're not providing a great employee experience, right? So we spend a lot of time now, and this is something we've picked up over the last few years. We were awful at this 5 years ago, frankly. We're much better at it now in terms of the interfaces that we use. This is a staff interface, and this is a customer interface. Very similar look and feel, consistent experiences. Okay? On board, again, you want that same experience, right? How do we use data here? Well, someone who goes on board and they watch a James Bond movie, close to my heart, they come on board next time and it's, oh, Mr. Anderson, you enjoyed a James Bond movie last time. Here's a selection of James Bond movies that you might be interested in. Now, we're not quite there yet, but that's the sort of thing that we want to be doing to wow and impress our customers, and that's the sort of information that we're using for staff as well, for employees as well. That's the data mining piece. This is our travel experience internal website, which tries to start to mimic the look and feel of tiles, of ease of use, just to be a more engaging and interesting place for people to do their company interactions. This is the employee travel site. Employee travel is a critical component of the proposition, the value proposition to our employees. Absolutely critical, and it needs to work, it needs to be engaging. All right, our employees tell us all the time they want technical innovation. We're quite a conservative company, so this has taken a bit of time to get used to, but our customers and our employees are telling us we want digital innovation from Cathay Pacific, so we've had to shape up. We've got sort of beacon technology. I don't know if any of you have flown to Miami recently, but there's airports now where the airport will talk to your phone and say, your gate is 20 minutes walk away, you need to leave now. Or you're going in the wrong direction for your San Francisco flight, you need to turn around. If you turn that on, then it's an active, interactive kind of technology that's available. Biometrics, we were the first airline into Singapore Terminal 4. If you want to, Singapore Terminal 4, you can go from curbside to your seat without talking to anyone. And you can do that in about 15 minutes. Having dropped off your bag, gone through the airport, gone through immigration and security, you can do all of that automated in about 15, 20 minutes. Impressive, the technology is already here. If anyone's talking to the airport authority or Department of Transport, please let them know that's what you want. But this is the kind of ease of use that our customers are asking for us and our employees demand of their work experience as well. Let me show you, biofuels is customers and employees are both saying we need to be a company. We have a huge carbon footprint, right? And it's a carbon footprint that's barely understood. Emitting NOx at 35,000 feet is really barely understood in terms of its implication for the environment, except we know it affects the environment. So how do we mitigate that as much as possible? Biofuels, our customers and our employees want to feel proud of this brand, and this is part of sort of taking that up and taking it seriously. So we actually have aircraft running on biofuels. We run drop-in biofuels using various algae, etc., that we're currently trialing with various companies. All right? Appraisal system. Hands up who thinks they've got a great appraisal system. Nobody. Our appraisal system in Cathay Pacific got a 13% approval rating at the last big staff survey. 13%. It's not massively impressive, is it, if you were talking about wanting to be a company that's aligned to customer and employee experience. So we completely ditched it, revised it, revamped it, much more interactive, much more two-way, etc. Responding quickly using technology. We use a product called Cornerstone. Anybody know Cornerstone? A state-of-the-art appraisal technology, basically. We're a big company. It's worth us investing in that sort of technological solution. But very, very impressive, and it does make an impact. Now we're up to about 60% approval, which is still not where we want to be, but it's certainly going in the right direction. All right? Ravi earlier today talked really impressively about the opportunity you get to make a great impression when people are joining your company, right? Through the recruitment process and into onboarding. This is a once-in-a-career lifetime opportunity, an employee life cycle opportunity to really make a great impression. So we've spent a lot of time trying to align this experience to what our customers might expect of us. So when people are applying for Cathay Pacific, they can do it all online with intuitive sort of interface on the website, etc. They don't have to spend half an hour setting up a profile, do as much kind of auto-population of those fields as possible. We will interview through digital means. As also Ravi was saying, don't expect people to come in from all over the place to come and interview for a job they've only got a 30% chance of actually getting. Make sure you can come to them and allow them to interface with your brand and with your look and feel from where they are. But then do try and bring them in when we get to that 30% that stands a chance. All right? So the experience, this is our recruitment center. Looks very much like the kind of look and feel of the lounges, of all the other sort of touch points of the company. Our rooms for our recruitment center are boarded as gates with the names, like this is the Paris room, this is the Rome room, etc. So we're already getting the feel, the excitement of international travel, of beyond your sort of experience, moving you out of being in Hong Kong or Manila, etc., to a world of international travel. We're already putting that into the recruitment process. Once people have come on board, we make sure they're on a plane as quickly as possible, whether they're ground staff or flight staff, employees, that they have a sense of belonging, they've given mentorship, etc. Personal letter from the CEO, we have a Cathay Pacific aircraft that they can take home and put on the mantelpiece to give them that little feel at home. All those little touches are just there to really create that engagement with the business, that sense of belonging from day one, from even before day one. Before they've even arrived in this company, we want them to feel that they're part of Cathay Pacific and that they understand us, all right? Absorbing information, seeking help if they want it, and also they have an opportunity already to be providing feedback on that process. So we're already sort of asking for them to make a contribution to the airline even before they've joined. All right, so that's it, really. I know I've rushed through that very quickly and haven't illustrated it with as many humorous anecdotes as I wanted to. We're very late, I know. But our brand promise is a life well traveled. That is not possible unless our employees feel the same, right? That their life is a life well traveled. Richard Branson has kind of talked about if you look after your people, then your people will look after your customers. Kind of putting the people piece first and then hoping the customer piece will fall into place. I don't think that's quite enough. I think you need to be explicit that your customer is really important and you're going to build everything around that. But then you make sure that your employees feel that their experience is as important as your customer experience. If you can get those pieces lined up and go and talk to your CEO and your CFO and you say, this HR initiative is not really a HR initiative, it's a business initiative to help us align to business strategy. If you can do that and talk about the customer experience and the employee experience being aligned, then you make a very powerful case indeed. Thank you very much.